Salad TV. Rock 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 Salad TV.
Speak to the Sky was a big hit, but then there was pretty much a 10-year period where nothing was happening, and you were really shooting. You're taking acting gigs, anything to stay afloat, but you still believed in yourself. When that success came, and maybe you felt it would be the panacea for how you felt about with your self-esteem or just how you felt about yourself, did it soothe that? And at what point were you disillusioned when you said, yeah, this is what I always thought was going to be what was going to push me over the edge and give me contentment? Having success, doing what I love, still doesn't do it. When did all that stuff happen?
Well, for the first couple of years, it was okay. This is great. This is kind of how I imagined it would make me feel, and a little bit of ego crept in, thinking it might be all about me, and then about 1985, I saw a MTV interview that I'd done on the bus, one of the last tours I did in the 80s, and they were interviewing me, and I was sitting there like this, playing with my shirt, with my head down, and talking really quietly. And I realized,
you're not happy.
I'm not a happy guy. And so I remember the moment walking around this really beautiful big house I'd bought in Malibu, thinking, this is not doing it. I feel like shit, and it's like, like having cancer, and you get the drug that you think heals you, and suddenly you realize the tumor's still growing. It was that kind of feeling. It was really scary, helpless, oh my God moment. What do I do now? And so I pulled the plug. I stopped everything and started going to therapy. And I think that saved my life to that point, being able to do that.
To keep going and to give you inspiration. I asked Bob Seger about this too. I told him you put up an interview with him, or a story from Cream,
in my Hollywood apartment,
on your apartment, to keep you going and not to give up.
Mm-hmm.
For people that have as much passion for music and are still trying to make it, what would you tell them? What would you give them to hold to heart to keep going? If you could be the Bob Seger for other people.
I've always been a follower of self-empowerment, like the Tony Robbins has taken it, a great path with it. I think he's a brilliant guy. As big as he is and everything, he's still got a great message and delivers it really powerfully. What I do with my own kids, I guess, I've given them books that I've found motivating and have been giving me strength at times when it was just me, alone in my apartment. And certainly Bob Seger's interview was part of that. I had it stuck up on the inside of a kitchen cabinet, so when I reached for the plate, for my TV dinner, I'd see that and go,
What would the interview say? What did the
I don't remember. It was just something about how he'd struggled and nobody wanted to sign him, and it was tough. And basically all it was I'm not the only guy struggling. Was what I guess I got out of that, and that struggling doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means you're struggling, and that was the thing that helped me was that I knew inside that something would happen somehow, and I doubted it and would sit there at night sometimes crying, going, it's not going to happen, I'm going to have to go back to Australia with my tail between my legs, but then I'd read something, and I was always I pushed myself. I was always very motivated to do the right thing and to be successful and have people hear my music and like it. So read all you can, read motivating things, because it's it's up to you. It's only up to you, and you don't have someone in the corner every day going, "You can do it. You can do it." You've got to be that person, and you got to just stay in the game. And the only time you fail is when you stop trying.
That's true. Had success not come for you, and you had to you stayed in America and you just took a job that maybe you worked at a vet clinic, who knows what you would have done, but do you think you still would have been writing songs just for the love of that and for that
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was in a top 40 band before I signed to RCA.
Were you?
I was making okay money, playing
What were they called?
Night Train. No idea why we called it that, but it was my girlfriend, and it was my buddy Jeff Silverman, who still works on my albums.
What were you doing covers of? Do you remember?
Oh, everything. Top 40 stuff we do, Quit Dragging My Heart Around. We do Led Zeppelin stuff. We do...
The Knack?
What's that?
The Knack?
The Knack. I don't think we did My Sharona, but that was very much, in my... Even when I was playing the top 40, I was learning from these songs that I'd never played before, going, that's that chord progression, But I'd probably be, in a top 40 band.
You probably still would be doing that.
And be still writing. I think I probably would have got a cover or two by now, maybe. And Alan O'Day actually lived around the hallway from me in an apartment building when he had Undercover Angel. And I'd gone, yeah, that's cool. I actually took Carry Me Away, which is the flip side of Jesse's Girl. I took that to him and said, I think I need to rewrite the chorus on this because I don't think it's happening. And he goes, dude, the chorus is great. So I actually was going to sit down ready to rewrite this song with him because he'd had success. And I thought, have a touch of that, please.
Yeah, believe in yourself. I'm curious. In every business, there's going to be people that are just, when you're in higher echelon, people are going to tell you are going to be yes men or yes women, whatever they're going to be. But who are the people you can always turn to who are going to be straight to you in your life about whether it's music, your career, or your personal life? Who are the people you go to?
My wife, my kids, and the people I don't really ask people about music, I mean, I play it. Like Maddie's my sound, who does the engineering in the studio and is also our front of house, Maddie Spindell. I didn't play him the songs and go, what do you think? What do you think? I just demoed them with him and see what he said, and see what he said about him. And he's going, oh God, great, love that. The lyrics are great. So I get encouragement like that. But I'm very nervous playing new songs for people in case they go, dude, really? Yeah, it's a big scary moment for me to play a new song to somebody before it's been recorded and I've been able to kind of see it in full Technicolor. You're just sitting there with a guitar playing it. It's like...
I mean, The Snake King is such a different record for you. There's no other record like this in your catalog. What did your band and the people you played on this record think? Like, what did Tim Pierce think when he was coming into play? Was he surprised by the darkness and the tone and the direction?
No, Tim doesn't really comment on that kind of stuff. Tim just sits down and nails it, and then we move on, And he doesn't really pay attention to the lyrics when we're overdubbing stuff. But the band... I got some, I laid the acoustic down first with a click track and then went into the big studio East-West for the drums and bass, so we could have room sound, right? And they're playing along. My drummer, who's in my band, Jorge and Siggy are my drum and bass players, and they're playing along and they're really playing cool stuff and not really saying much, Occasionally they go, yeah, I like this song. I'm thinking, oh my God, they must think this is crap. But then I finished it, and played Little Demon was the first song that we finished and mixed, and I played it for Jorge, and he goes, holy shit, I had no idea you were going to put this stuff on top. All he heard was acoustic and a rough vocal. So they were kind of blown away by where it went from where they heard it. And Wendy Wagner, who is an amazing background, amazing singer. She does session work, all forever, and is on the road with Joe Walsh. And she, came over to do the backgrounds, and she looked at the lyrics, and she's going through the lyrics through the songs and going, Rick, what happened to you?
That's so funny. Well, I know you're a huge fan of, you're a huge collector of Beatles and Star Wars memorabilia. So I'm curious, what are your holy grail items for each that you'd like to obtain?
Wow. Well,
Sorry, real quick.
Until it's 11?
Yeah, I just want to stop
It's
soon.
5 to 11 right now.
Oh, is it? Damn. Okay, we're going to stop and then just have Rick do a couple quick things. Okay, yeah, this will be the last question.
do you want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Well, the Holy Grail stuff, I have a character called Headman, which is Star Wars. I love the character. I'm really into the little, it's totally geeky, but the carded little 3-inch figures. And I have Headman, who is so rare, he wasn't even in any of the movies. It's a Turkish bootleg, and it's the only bootlegs that collectors collect, is this Turkish one, for some reason, because the artwork's super cheesy, and I don't know, but it's super cool. It's a space guy with a sword and shield, which is really a fucked up look, and I just think it's cool. And the Beatles stuff, I have the lyrics to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds in both John and Paul's handwriting, and a drawing by Paul of Rocking Horse People, and a drawing of the Sgt. Pepper's cover, how he first envisioned it, which is them in Victorian outfits with drapes, and that's how he first saw the cover. So that's pretty friggin' awesome.
Are there any holy grail items you're wanting from either the Beatles or the Star
Oh,
Wars?
well, Paul, you could send me yesterday lyrics. That would be cool. Would like that very much. Wouldn't sell them. I'm a collector, not a seller. Star Wars, I have all the cool figures, the ones I like. I sold a bunch of my stuff that I bought originally, but I just wanted the 12 geekiest ones.
Rock Salad TV. 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 Rock Salad TV.